Hey guys, what's up? It's me, JC. Today we are going to sit down and kind of talk about a little bit of a serious topic. And this very well may be something that you are also struggling with and might not know where to go with having the problem fixed or having a solution. So what I'm talking about today is sleep. Sleep is very important, and I'm so sorry if you see Mitten's wound. By the way, since she's on the camera, she is kind of sick right now. She just got an allergy shot and she just went to the vet, so she's having a very bad day. And she has a big gashy wound on the back of her neck. It's not bleeding, but it is pretty gnarly looking, so I do apologize if you see that. But anyway, so sleep is what I'm talking about. I have struggled with problems with sleeping for a very long time, and perhaps you have too. I have been having a hard time sleeping since 2012. It was back when I was still in high school and going through a college running start program. I was just starting to experience a sleeping disorder or a problem with sleep. I wasn't sleeping very well. I wasn't falling asleep. I wasn't staying asleep if I did get to sleep. My dad actually was the first person to purchase me some sleeping pills to try. Now this is not necessarily the brand that he had gotten me. This is a brand that I have been purchasing for years. I have pretty much non-stop taken sleeping pills for, the last, 5 years, since 2012. And first of all, they make you feel like absolute shit. You don't feel good. They don't make you feel good. They don't help you in any way other than, so to speak, hurting you. In my personal experience. I'll explain a little bit more, but this is Sleep Aid. This is the brand that I've been getting. They are 50 milligram soft gels. They are just like that. One of them generally doesn't work for me. I have taken one and had it work, but because I was using them every fucking day, except for the weekends usually, unless I had to be up early, then I couldn't sleep. And what do I do to help myself sleep? Take a sleeping pill or two, because I could not sleep. And before you go into a tangent about that's something you should talk to your doctor about, I've actually tried twice to tell a doctor about my sleeping problems, and quite frankly, they didn't give a flying fuck. They ignored me, they skipped over it, they pretended I didn't say anything. They did not fucking care. And I don't know if maybe you've had a similar experience or if you felt the same way or not. Long story short, so back in 2012, I think I had, sorry I had an itch, I think I had just finished high school and I was still in this running start program for cosmetology, which didn't turn out. Surprise, surprise. Go figure, now I'm at a job that I fucking hate every fucking day. Anyway, that's besides the point. I mean, there's not much else that I can say about it. I don't love my job. I mean, it's not the worst job in the world, but I don't love it. I'm not happy to be there. I drag my ass out of bed to get up and to go there. And it's not necessarily the people that I work with or, the people in any way, shape, or form. The company just doesn't treat its employees right, doesn't really care about you. But anyway, that's besides the point. So what had happened back when I was in high school and in this running start program, or when I just finished high school and was in this running start program, is I couldn't sleep, and I ended up telling my dad. I was awake. I was stuck awake where I didn't sleep at all. I tried to sleep. I would lay down in bed and I could not sleep, and I was awake for 5 days, and it was driving me absolutely crazy. It felt awful. I just felt so tired, but I couldn't sleep. The first couple nights of actually taking these kinds of pills, which, by the way, in case you're curious, the active ingredient is diphenhydramine. 50 milligrams. I don't know if you can, it doesn't look like it's focusing. But it's DIPHENHYDRAMINE. And these are 50 milligrams, and I take 2 of them. That's 100 milligrams. So the first couple of nights that I started taking them, they did not really do anything for me. The only thing that they originally would do to me or for me is they would make my arms and my legs really heavy, and I couldn't move them. For the first 2 nights of me taking these sleeping pills, I would lay in bed unable to move, feeling awful, and then not having slept at all, have to get up several hours later and drag my ass into my car and go to college, and driving with the effects of the pill still pretty much in full, other than I had some ability to move my arms and legs, was very scary. And that's pretty much what they do now, essentially, is they kind of make it hard to move. They don't make me feel good. They kind of make my head hurt. They make me sick enough to the point where it's just like, okay, I need to go to bed now. And my body does have that response, hey, get the fuck to bed, fall the fuck asleep. And I do fall asleep, but you do not feel good. You feel like shit. You feel awful. You feel weak. You feel gross. And then they can cause your kidneys to hurt. I have problems where my kidneys will hurt randomly, and it's probably because I've taken 100 milligrams of the shit for so long. I mean, I've taken them for years. I've had a couple of short breaks between the sleeping pills, and they're, I don't know, I feel like they're dangerous. They make me feel bad, even though they say, you know, safe and non-habit forming, but you're not supposed to take them every single day either. And another thing is if you have depression like I do, before I've taken them and when I had lost my previous job, just taken them and went to bed, and then took some more if I woke up and went back to bed. I mean, it's a really traumatizing cycle. They're just not fun. They don't work the way you want them to. They will put your ass down. You'll go to sleep, but you're not gonna enjoy it, and you're not gonna feel good in the morning. You're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel groggy. You're gonna feel just nasty. I've tried several other products, which you can see slightly piled up right here, but that's besides the point. We'll get into all that in a moment. I've tried other products, like I've tried aromatherapy, such as this Calm Mind Roll-On, where it's just, you know, aromatherapy liquid that has, I'm guessing, lavender in it of some sort. Yep, lavender, basil, frankincense, whatever the fuck that is, cedarwood, lemongrass. To me, it honestly smells just like cedarwood. And it's a roll-on formula, you know, it has a little ball where you would roll it on, right, you know, in the temples or on the neck or, you know, on your wrists, and then you go like that. And the smell is supposed to help you sleep. I've tried it. It's just leaves a mess, just puts oil on your face, and it didn't really do anything for me other than cause the cat to lick my face, which I don't want her licking this shit off, just saying. I've tried other bits of aromatherapy, such as this Calming Sleep. I have all kinds of like stress reducing ones and those kinds of things that I put in this diffuser. It's that little white box in the corner, right, like right here somewhere. I mean, I like the smell. It can be overpowering, and it doesn't really seem to do anything for me. It does not by any means help me sleep. I just like the fact that it smells nice, and that it's like puffs of smoke, and that it kind of lights up. The lights are pretty. It makes it hard to sleep when you actually go to sleep. Not that I couldn't turn the light off, but because I want the light on. But still, it's just not really helpful. I mean, it's fun to do, and I like aromatherapy. It just does not help me sleep by any means, in any way, shape, or form. A lot of people have suggested other methods to try to help me sleep. As an example, a lot of people say, oh, just take melatonin. Melatonin will help you sleep. It's a chemical your body naturally makes to help you sleep. That's the chemical in your brain that helps you and makes you fall asleep at night. I have most definitely tried melatonin in more ways than one. I've tried these 5 milligram gummies of melatonin, and I took these for a while. But the problem with these is I would take between 2 and 4 of these 5 milligram gummies on top of 1 to 2 sleep aid, because alone they didn't do anything. I have also these advanced sleep melatonin plus 5 HTP, which didn't do anything for me either. I would take 4 or 5 of these, and 20 minutes later, an hour later, I would have to take a sleeping pill or 2. And that's not healthy. These ones are double-sided, double-coated. They don't taste good. They make whatever you're eating taste slightly like awful raspberries. They're just not good. They didn't work for me. They did not help me. They were not allowing me to sleep or anything like that. So I stopped trying to take them. I have all these full bottles of things that I've tried that haven't worked, but I just kept trying and trying and trying because the sleeping pills just made me feel awful. And like I said, I took these for a while and I ate them. I mean, they tasted kind of good, so why not? And I've tried the blackberry ones. Oh, these ones are the blackberry ones. I've tried another brand, I think, as well, and they were, you know, they tasted fine. They tasted good. They just didn't do anything for me. It did not help me sleep in the slightest. I've also tried things like valerian root and passion flower. First of all, these smell like shit. Like literal shit. This is what they look like. They will make your hands smell like shit. They will make your drink taste like shit. Like literal shit. Like somebody literally stuck their asshole up to this bottle and shit in it and shipped it out. It smells like shit. It's not good. It does not have a good flavor. It does not help me sleep. It has not helped me sleep. It's a problem. It hasn't done anything for me. There is no benefit for me taking it. I've tried it back in like 2012, 2013, just straight valerian root, which smells more like shit, by the way. This one smells slightly like passion flower, I guess, maybe. And it's never done anything for me. It's just never helped. And I'll take, 4 or 5 of those and again have to resort to sleeping pills or sleep aids. I would try I even went as far as I bought these 2 together. I would take 2 to 3 of each of them at one point, and still a couple hours later or an hour later or 20 minutes later, depending on how much time I have before I need to go to work, I would take them again, and it just didn't do anything for me. It absolutely the only thing it did was make me feel like shit. So I don't recommend any of those products either. I've also tried prescription grade sleeping medicine. Obviously not prescribed by my doctor, but somebody gave me one at one point. That didn't do anything for me either. I've taken 2. I forget what they're called at the moment. Yeah, I can't think of it right now, but I've tried those and hasn't done anything for me. I've tried hops, which is basically a derivative of alcohol, like beer. Hops is in a lot of beer. I've taken 4 or 5 of these, even though the recommendation is 2. And guess what? Didn't do shit. So that means I would take melatonin or valerian root or a sleeping pill, again, on top of something, and just making this big mixed concoction in my stomach, which does not feel good. It really doesn't. But if you are like me and you have sleeping problems, I may have found a solution. Now, the solution I have a couple of problems with. It's expensive. And if you watch my videos and you're not 21 years or older, you have to be 21 years older or older to purchase it. And I know that sounds bad. It sounds like a drug, but it's not. And to be fair, first of all, I do want to say it's called CBD. These are CBD gummies, and I'll go into a little bit more about this. This is a derivative of weed, and I have never been one for weed. I have never smoked weed. I have never eaten weed. I have never done anything like that. I'm not one into drugs or anything like that. So all of my life I've just been so against the idea of weed, and people were telling me all the time, well, just smoke weed, you'll feel better, smoke weed. First of all, I did some research. Weed is meant to it does mellow you out and it makes you hungry, but the THC is meant to keep you awake. It does not generally make you sleep. Some people can get tired from smoking it, but it's not really what it's meant to do. CBD, I forget what it stands for, so don't fucking ask me. It's a big long word, cannabinoid or something like that, is not a drug. It does not make you high. It will not show up on a drug test, because drug tests are looking for THC, generally speaking. It's not a drug. It does not in any means make you high or make you feel high or anything like that. CBD is used for people who need to try to sleep. It's exactly what one of the benefits is of these gummies. My problem though is it's a very high price and you get a very low quantity of the product. I've been testing out the CBD gummies this week. The only other problem that I have with them, they do taste good. You don't taste anything that's, reminds you of weed. It does not smell like weed or anything like that. The only other thing that's bad is it has a bad aftertaste, and you do have to eat a couple of them. So they do go by very quick. I don't know if the noise was part of the cat. So the lady at the store, she recommended that he start taking half a gummy and see if that works. First of all, if you're anything like me, I have a very high tolerance to alcohol and to, painkillers and those kinds of things. Ibuprofen doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't matter if it's 4 ibuprofen or ibuprofen 800, does not do anything for me. Percocets don't do anything for me, even though they're supposed to get you high off your ass. They don't do anything for me. They did not make my pain go away. They did not make me high, and I did not take them to get high. I had some very extreme back pain not too long ago, and I was doing anything to try to get rid of the pain, and I would try like the electrotherapy thingamabob and painkillers and heat pads and just everything, and nothing seemed to work. One thing that's cool about these gummies that is a benefit, and I don't know, did I say this or not, but they have a bad aftertaste. The initial taste is good, they have an awful aftertaste, and the only other thing that I dislike about them is they make me feel kind of groggy in the morning, a little tired. It does wear off pretty quickly once I'm awake. And you have to take a lot of them, and they're really fucking expensive. So the lady recommended half a gummy. I tried that the first night, didn't do shit. Took a whole gummy, didn't do shit. You have to take 2 gummies, which is the recommended serving size, 2 pieces, right there. Which is fine. I mean, it did work. It made me tired, and I didn't feel sickly tired. I didn't feel gross. I just felt like I wanted to go to bed. I didn't feel high, or like the room was spinning, or nothing was changing colors, or I don't exactly know what happens when you're high. I really don't. I don't know anything about the subject. The whole week that I had debated and was thinking about doing the CBD gummies, I was trying to look up like HTC drops, which is a phone, first of all, and I'm very aware of that because I work with phones, but that's besides the point. I just could not remember the word, or the acronym was THC. I had no fucking clue. I just could not remember it for the life of me. So I finally did get a hold of the concept, or the usage, the word usage. So it is very expensive, but they do work. They help me sleep. They're supposed to help with stress. They're supposed to help with depression. It can help fight cancer. I mean, it has all the benefits that regular weed would have without the high, with no THC. They can help you lose weight. It helps heart problems. It can help, you know, seizures, and it's crazy. It can help nausea and vomiting and those kinds of things. There's so many health benefits that they claim. I don't know that I've necessarily experienced any particular health benefits. All I've tried is the gummies. I am going to try a gram or two of the powder. I'm not going to put all the gram, of course, into something and eat it, which is the measurement that they do sell it in, is a gram, which is pretty expensive. And I am going to try that. And if you guys would like an update, please let me know. I'd be happy to give you an update on the gram of the CBD as well. Again, there's absolutely no drugs involved, and that's why I was so on board with it. They did have they're candy gummies. They did have sour flavors and non-sour flavors. You get 5 or 6 in a package, and they are $19.99 per package, and I bought 2 of them. It costed me $40 for between 10 and 12 gummies, and you have to take 2 a night. It's gonna last me a week, and that's without taking them for a couple of days because it's the weekend now. This one is called Tayberry. This is what they look like. They're very sweet. It's kind of just smells like a strawberry or something like that. They kind of taste or smell like the melatonin gummies. It's coated in sugar, not sour powder. So these ones were my least favorite of the 2 that I purchased. I'm not really one for sour stuff, so I did not buy like the sour strips or the sour gummy worms, because they do have those as well. I bought the ones that I thought might be sweet, and these are extreme strength CBD. And the net weight is 25 grams. And these ones are called Froggies. These ones were my favorite, which I actually didn't think I'd like. I bought them because I was like, maybe they'll be okay. I thought I would not like these ones because I don't really care too much for gummy candies. I mostly like chocolate, but I mean, I'll eat gummies from time to time. These ones are little frogs. They're also covered in a sugary powder. Again, I was just taking 1 of the Tayberry and 1 of the Froggies a night. I have 2 left in each package. This one you can't really see the second one, but it is in there. You can kind of see it there, I guess. And that's all I have left, and I literally bought these a week ago on last Saturday, and it is now Friday for a measurement of time, and I have 2 more nights worth. I am going to, like I said, try to buy a gram or 2 of the powder. It's pretty expensive, and the measuring's going to be a bitch, and I don't know how it's going to taste. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to drink half of a water bottle and pour a little spoonful in. I bought a little tiny itty bitty spoon. Pour a little itty bitty spoonful in half of a water bottle, and I'm going to shake it up and try to chug it and see if that works the same, if it works better, if it tastes bad. If you guys want a follow-up, I will definitely do it for you guys. I'm interested in the product, even though, like I said, I'm not pro weed or cannabis or whatever you want to call it. I've just never been a fan of it myself. I don't like the smell. I don't mind. I mean, I don't give a shit if you do it. I mean, I don't care. Do it over there, like way the fuck far away. I don't want to be around it because it smells like shit. It smells like skunk, okay? It's not a good smell. and people, it smells so good. And just like, get it up, get it the fuck away, go somewhere else. It does not smell good to me. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I'm not interested in getting high. I can drink a little bit with friends and I can get drunk, trust me, that's a project all on its own. But getting high is just not something that I'm interested in. And I've never been interested in, you know, marijuana or marijuana products. It's just not my thing, or any other kind of drug. Even though, trust me, I've thought about doing other kinds of drugs just to lose weight because I'm so... That's a whole other story. But anyway, this is, I just feel like this is a conversation that needed to get out and go somewhere so people have an idea of what to try and what not to try. If you have a really hard time sleeping like I do, and if you have a really high tolerance like I do, because like even a couple of drinks, I don't feel anything. It really takes a lot for me to feel anything, and Percocets didn't do anything. Ambien is that other sleeping pill that I've tried, and it didn't do anything for me. I've tried antidepressants that are supposed to be anti-anxiety, which are therefore supposed to help you with sleeping. None of it has worked for me. The CBD gummies, they make me feel tired, and they make me able to go to bed, but they don't make me feel awful. Like I said, there's only a couple of things I don't like, including the very, very expensive price tag and the poor aftertaste. I don't know if the powder will be any different. And like I said, if you guys want a follow-up video about the powder, I'd be happy to do that as well. I was looking at pills originally, but they are really expensive, and to buy the gram is a little bit cheaper. So I figured maybe I would go off and try that and see if that particularly works for me or not. So if you guys want an update on that, I would be very happy to do it. It's just something that I thought was important. Like I said, I've had sleeping problems for 5 years now, and I've been taking sleeping pills for 5 years now, and they make me feel awful. They make me continue to stay tired. These gummies, they do make you feel a little tired when you wake up and when you go to bed, but I mean, it's not something you can't just walk off. A lot of the times when taking those sleeping pills, there were often times where I would drive to work and be terrified that I was going to fall asleep at the wheel because I felt like maybe those drugs were still, you know, not actual drugs. I wasn't smoking crack or something like that, obviously, but I felt like maybe those pills were still like going through my blood or something like that and causing me to feel really tired. I heard a noise. I thought I was afraid it's a rat or something, but it's the curtains. They're about to fall down off the TV. But anyway, that's besides the point. So there were days where I'd often drive to work feeling like I may very well fall asleep at the wheel, or I may have to call out of work or call into work and tell them I'm going to be late, I have to pull over. Where I haven't experienced this week with these gummies, but like I said, they claim to help with depression and anxiety, psychosis, you know, psychotic diseases, you know, epilepsy or seizures, and pain. They help with pain, and they help you sleep. They can help your heart, which I very well could have heart disease. Heart disease runs in my family, and I do have heart problems or chest pain, and I may have had a minor heart attack. That's whole other story. But I mean, all these things that these gummies can do, and they can help you lose weight, which I am very hopeful for, because I would love that. I've been exercising, I've been eating right, nothing seems to work for me. Maybe this will be the cure-all. And again, it's not about getting high. There's no THC in it. It's CBD. C like cat, B like bird, D like dog, also like The Last Guardian. That's basically a cat bird dog. Just think about it that way. That's how I remembered it. I know, funny analogy, but I think it works. And if you have sleep problems, I do recommend this product. Again, it is expensive, but I feel like the expense may be worth not having to suffer or feel sick all the time, or to go to bed feeling sick, waking up in the middle of the night feeling sick, and just, you know, not feeling good. I think it may very well be worth it. I like the product. I think it works. And for the first time yesterday, I was actually tired at about 3 a.m., which usually on the weekends, if you know anything about me, I'm usually up till 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. I actually naturally started to feel tired after 3 o'clock in the morning. And you know, I mean, that's something that doesn't generally happen for me, especially on a Thursday night when it's going into Friday. Usually I'm up pretty much all night. My intent was to stay up all night because Mittens is not doing well. She got a shot today. Hopefully that will clear her up. I can give you updates on Mittens as well. She's been losing giant clumps of hair, and she started bleeding yesterday. Started about a week and a half ago, and I got her into the vet as soon as I could. But they tried an allergy shot, and they're hoping that'll work. So if you want updates on that, let me know too. But besides the points, I feel like they could help. And even if my body starts moving away from the sleeping pills and I start being able to fall asleep naturally, I mean, I might still take CBD just because it has the cancer fighting properties, the heart health properties, the high blood pressure. It can lower the high blood pressure because it causes low blood pressure. It can cause low blood pressure. And I have extremely high blood pressure. Maybe that'll bring that down, which will alternatively help with the heart as well. And there's really not that many side effects besides possibly low blood pressure, I think is what I read in something else. But it helps with nausea, which I'm nauseous all the time. It helps with pain. It helps with seizures. Not that I have a problem with seizures, but it helps with sleep and anxiety and depression, which I have sleeping disorders and anxiety and depression and heart problems, and I would like to lose weight, and you know, that's a possibility with this product. I think that even if my body starts developing its own chemicals to actually fall asleep, I'm probably going to try to keep up with the product to see if it has any adverse, you know, benefits to taking the medicine or taking the product. I know it's kind of like a drug, but it's not like, you know what I mean? I'm not into